Hey everybody, and welcome to Hex Token Channel. Your host, Superman, in the house. A big welcome. Woohoo! Let's get into it. Hey, I've got the glow on. We've still got the Testnet V3 glow. That's just how we roll on this channel, apparently. And it sounds like the audio is up and running, so welcome. I hope you guys have been playing around. I did the big Testnet video yesterday. If you haven't checked it out, Pulsechain Testnet V3 for beginners. Definitely checked out. We covered all the topics. We answered lots of different questions. Really cool stuff there. Got a couple of comments afterwards that I answered as well in the chat. So very cool. I hope you guys are enjoying it. That's pretty comprehensive so far. We'll obviously keep building on that in terms of other videos, particularly around the bridge and PulseX. PulseX DEX as well. So we're going to talk about that. We've got lots of. We're going to start off with Pulsechain today. We're going to get all the Pulsechain updates that I'm aware of so far. And hopefully nothing snuck through. If I have missed anything, let us know in the chat if you've seen something that I haven't talked about. And of course, then we're going to get into stock market and crypto. We're going to get into the HEX chart, of course, the big John Wick, as it were. I just watched the movie John Wick yesterday, and it was so good. John Wick 4, man, I love that series. And it was a timely. We had the Wick and the HEX chart, so I thought, John Wick, it's a Wick. So there we are. Hope you guys enjoy that. Thumbnail looks pretty badass if you ask me. And of course, then we're going to get into some of the news. We've got lots of project news building onto Pulsechain. Some of our top tier dApps been dropping alpha all over the place. We've got the launch of Internet Money Wallet today, live. Not just pretend anymore, not test, but our second Sacrifice project has gone live. So the first was BNB Pot. The second one is Internet Money Wallet. It has gone live on Ethereum and BNB chain. That's super bullish. Congratulations to KG, of course. We'll talk more about that later on. The time and future have been listed, and of course, exciting to see that. We're going to get into Staker App as well. Staker App has dropped us some news. Staker App version 2 is coming. It's very soon. We're going to talk about that, and then we're going to also talk about Power City. Power City bring on one of the most powerful utilities for Pulsechain, the cross-chain bridge, and many other incredible DeFi utilities. We're going to talk about that too. Then we're going to wrap up and get paid with the Hex Daily Stats. That's how we rock and roll on this channel. So big welcome to Hex Token. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. Smash that like button, hit the bell. Let's get into the chat and see who's here. I've answered a few of these questions in any case. Christine brings up a very important thing. She's on Twitter and she's seeing some Hex airdrop. Now, I got that tweet as well, Christine. Those are all scams. Don't fall for the scams. Just keep away from them. These so-called airdrops, just keep away from all of them. Whether they're Hex scams, Hex getting targeted a lot at the moment, obviously because of Pulsechain and Richard Ha, and everyone is spreading the word. So it's an easy target for scammers. Don't interact with your wallet with any of these things. Don't try and get some free stuff. Picking up pennies in front of freight trains is the old phrase, and don't do that. So keep away from it. Just stick to the main road, and don't try and you'll get wrecked that way. We don't want to hear any sad stories about that. Definitely keep away. That's also true on Pulsechain. On Pulsechain Testnet V3, just to be careful that you don't interact with any scam contracts that are on there. Potentially they may end up being malicious. So just stay on the main road and make sure that you confirm the contracts that you're interacting in. Stay with the main tokens, main coins, things like that, and keep away from anything that you're not aware of that's suspicious. So be very careful with that, right? So that's pretty much how we go. We got Brian in the house. Good to see Brian. Woohoo! We got who else is here? Toxic Hedgehog is in the house. Good to see you. Lies Beneath as well, dropping in with the alpha. Hello, how are you today? Very good. Good to see you, Lies Beneath. And we got Hex, EHEX, PLS, and PLSX for the win. 100%. That is the ultimate strategy. Richard Hart, the gold standard of crypto, as I always call it. Very cool. We got Magnus in the house as well. Hey, Suitman. Good to see you, Magnus. Granddad's in the house. Hello. Good to see you, Granddad. And Church of Universal Oneness is also dropped in here. Pulsechain, woohoo! Yeah, get excited. It's mainly going pretty well. There's a few little issues. We're going to talk about some of those, but that's to be expected. It is a testnet, and the team gets a chance to fix those up in real time with a live launch. So it's going to be fun to talk about. We're going to talk about quite a few of those things today. Morning, Suitman and family. Good to see you, Brendan. We got Van Sam as well. Hi, Van Sam. Good to see you. And let's jump through here. Randy in GA says, do we know how many people have been on testnet? Not necessarily people, but we've got the transactions that they have been doing. We talked about that yesterday. We'll talk about it again today probably. What else there? Now the devs probably know, they have the server counts, they probably know what unique users have been on the website, but I'm not sure if that's a public number on there. Maybe on there, but I haven't seen that at all. That normally might be something privately that the team can see on the URL. You may be able to check that, of course. Maybe I'll do that with maybe GraphQL or Web3 or something like that. It's possible. And maybe I'll scrape the site for that data. I don't know. There's all these sorts of techniques that are out there. DHEX in house there. What's up, Hexkins, Pulsexkins all around the world. Good to see DHEX. And Nicholas in house there. I saw people still sacrificing the sacrifice dress. Lol. Yeah, those funds are lost, and those people will probably end up calling RH a scam because of their ignorance. Hilarious, yeah. Look, the sacrifice officially closed on the 4th of April, 2022, so that's a long time ago. But this is how exciting people only just come in late, and they get excited and they keep sacrificing. I'm sure that those will probably get honored, but as Nicholas points out, the rate is a fraction. It's a fractionalized rate, so just basically losing your money that way. So we'll see what the team does with that. I'm not sure what the sacrifice said at the moment cuts anybody off at that 4th of April period of time. There were some significant crypto still sacrificed after that period of time. So we'll see. I'm sure they're going to try and honor as much as they can. Danu in the house there. Woohoo! Hello, Superman, all Hexkins. Happy to be here again. Hey, Danu, good to see you. We got Katie in the house as well. Jory Torres. Hi, good to see you, Jory, sorry. That's my old down under accent there, mixing up. We got Humberto. Hey, Humberto, cheers from Southern Miami. Thank you, Superman, for the smart advice on airdrop scams. Unfortunately, that's a reality. It is. So just keep away from them. 100%. Just delete the tweets. Any offer that you see, just delete it. Honestly, just delete it. Don't even chase it. And of course, just look after yourself. Just stay in the main game. Get confirm, contracts. Stick with the main tokens. You'll be much better off than trying to go for these wildcats. And don't interact on the blockchain with contracts that just get dropped to you. They're all scams, so they will compromise your wallet or some way. So just be careful out there. Eddie in the house there. Woohoo! Cheers from SoCal. Let's go Pulsechain, Eddie. I like that attitude. That's awesome. Let's get it. And DHEX says, hey everybody, thank you Superman for all you do for this community. Hey, you're welcome DHEX, and a big shout out to the community, of course. Community is number one, come first all the time. It's a privilege to be of service. That's how I look at it. Harry Williams in the house there. Yo, let's go Pulse. Absolutely, Harry, I like that. That's worthy of a match. We got Brazil in the house there. What up? Good to see you, Briz. And who else is there? That's it. Briz is the last one in. All right, let's get into it, folks. Pulsechain. Let's get the banners up. Bam. And here we go. So this is Pulsechain. This is the Block Scout, Block Explorer, one of the two Block Explorers we've got. This is the sort of the general purpose one. People get to look at the blockchain. You can check blocks and transactions inside of blocks. You can paste your address and check out your address, see if you got a sacrifice, whether the balances match up and things like that. You can look at tokens and you can look at the Pulse coin. We looked at all that in yesterday's Pulsechain Testnet V3 for beginners video. You can go check that out. We covered 10 main topics on that video. And I have put a timestamp on it. Yay! I had to interrupt it for dinner halfway through, but I went back and finished it. So there we are. I can see that we've got a couple of interesting comments at the top here from the team, from the Pulsechain team. They say, we are currently working on indexing pre-Pulsechain fork data, which means that token balances and other pre-Pulsechain information may not reflect accurate values until this task is completed. However, it is worth noting that this pre-Pulsechain data can still be accessed through Ethereum Explorers. So you can use Ethereum ones. We are currently adding additional archive nodes. This is probably the big deal here, adding additional archive nodes. Please note that our indexes may experience some temporary delays until the archive nodes are fully optimized. So I think we've still got a little while to go here, folks, for the data to be fully in your face, as it were. And we can see that with the wallet addresses here. We've got 18,486,000. That's up from yesterday. I'm pretty sure yesterday we had about 17 million or so. Yeah, so we've probably got more activity to come there. We've got the blocks in there, 14,138,000. Obviously, that's still to come up a number as well. So that's important. What else there? We've got the total transactions as well. So remember the blocks here, we're not actually updated until just the 26th of January as well. That's where the fork happened, the block height. We've got the total transaction, 49 million, etc. But we've got the 10-second block times approximately sitting at 10.3. That's where we are at the moment. Now, in terms of someone asked about the number of users, well, at least on this view, we have the number of transactions per day. Yesterday, the first day, we had, approximately first day, on the 23rd closing day in any case, we had 75,865. So that was kind of cool, up from 5,600 a day earlier. So we'll get another one. We'll probably clock over soon. Imagine it's going to clock over maybe in 20 minutes. We'll see. I'm not exactly sure. Probably UTC time. We'll see how we go. So that is the number. We should get another number and see how many people have been playing on that. Now, obviously, we've got the blocks moving along here. Let me just refresh the browser here because it's got a bit stuck here. Yeah, 3 seconds ago. So we've got the browsers here. The latest block is 16,680,892. So that's important. And we're just ticking along here. So cool. We've got proposed blocks. And down here, we've got the transactions that are in some of these blocks. And we've got a lot of Zen. This is a big thing. So with obviously Pulsechain is a highway. Everybody's allowed to come just about. And of course, Zen is just like it did on ETH, where it was at some stage, particularly when it launched, it was like 30% of the volume. They've launched NFTs on the public Pulsechain Testnet by Jack Levin there, and we've got a lot of Zen transactions going onto the blockchain. So Jack Levin himself published that a little while ago, saying Pulsechain blocks are full with Zen NFT transactions, and he posted some of those there. So that's really cool. Whatever burns, whatever helps utilize the blockchain, whatever helps lift the value of Pulse, whatever helps to get the burn fee going, we love it. So it's great to see any project, whether it's Zen, whether it's any other project coming on, whether it's MEV bots, we'll have lots of those too. Whatever it is, it's great to see a high gas burn, and as a validator, you will love that. So it's kind of cool. As a user, maybe not so much sometimes. If obviously as it gets more valuable, just like Ethereum, you have to pay more, but that's in the future. And that's some of the play there. So kind of cool. We've got lots of Pulsex stuff happening here. Lots of different stuff. Incentive tokens. Pulsex itself is being used a lot. So if you've got Zen as a super dApp using the chain, you got Pulsex as a super dApp using the chain. You want all these use cases using the chain. And this is what you want. That's going to be glorious. That's what you want, folks. You want to go into the big number of transactions per day. We want to get up to, I can't remember what Ethereum is. We've got those data on the Ethereum chain, but a million transactions a day, for example, something like that. We want to get the transactions up, and at the moment, looks like we had 75,000 yesterday. We'll get a new number soon, probably in an hour or something like that. So that is kind of cool there. In terms of the Pulsechain Sacrifice, you can go to all on the tokens, and of course you can check the Pulsex here. We can see Pulse. I see the reset that actually. That's interesting. That seems to have reset from yesterday. We had 143 in there, so I'm not sure what's happening there. Probably just maybe it's to do with this syncing data issues and maybe archives. So that's important. So we'll jump back out of there. But yesterday it was showing 143 trillion. And of course, if you want to go to the test pulse, then obviously you can see all the pulse that's in here, and we can see the top sacrifice addresses in here as well, including the top address there also. So there's a few things there in terms of the main tokens and coin. So it's kind of cool. What else are we going to say about this? Let's jump over to, so that is Jack. So that's one of the super users is Zen, and more the merrier, right? More projects, the merrier. That's what you want. You want everybody to drive on the road, as it were. So it's kind of cool. Now, the other Explorer we've got here is Pulsechain. That is the Beacon chain. This is the second Explorer. This is the new one that we have. We didn't used to have that with the proof of work testnets. This is with the proof of stake testnet. And this is particularly useful for validators if you're validating. And we can see that we have new terminology. We talked about this yesterday. We've got epochs, slots, and blocks. I just note that quite a few of these slots have been missed. You know, I said that you can miss, you don't have to have a block in a slot, you can miss slots. And so it does appear that we've had some missed slots in here, which is interesting because it was pretty flawless yesterday, right? We had no missed slots. Now remember, every epoch has 32 slots, and 32 slots can have a block, and typically they do. We see we've got a lot of missed ones here. Not sure the reason why that is, but they are missed. And then we've got 2 proposed picked up in the last 2 here, so they seem to be filled. And remember, with each slot, you have 128 validators, and one of them is the proposer. You can see the selected proposer on the right here, and they validate the block, and then the other 127 just attest it or confirm that block as part of the committee. And then, of course, they just rotate through another 28 as well, and it just goes on and on. So the more uptime you are, the more time you get selected into this committee to confirm the blocks, the more rewards you make and the higher yield you will get. And that's pretty much it. And then, of course, you go to the validator leaderboard, and you can see the guys that are winning or the girls that are winning. And you can see this one here, 3038, seems to be making the most so far. They're up there at the moment, so kind of cool. To see they've got effectiveness NA, so I'm not sure what happened there. But they are number 1 on here as well, so it's kind of cool. They have 100% uptime. It looks like they're earning about 32 pulse a day at the moment. We'll see how that changes over time as well. So that's kind of neat there. The other thing we're going to talk about is on here is that there are 4,196 active validators. So if we take one pulse, if we take one epoch as 32 slots, we times that by 128, that means that we needed 496, and that's what we had. We had 496 when we launched. So that's fits well. Someone added another one there, and it looks like they've added about another 100 there, 4,195 validators at the moment, with an average of 32 million pulse per validator. So at least it's ticking along pretty well from there, at that point of view. I don't know if any of the other things that are in here yet. Let's have a look at the gas burn. Not sure if that's showing up yet. Current ETH emission. So we've got gas used here. Not sure where that's breaking that down. Burn ETH here. So that still seems we've got nothing in the chart yet. So we'll keep watching that. See whether that comes up with anything. We've got the gas now. So this is showing the gwei at the moment. So it's definitely twice as high as last time we were looking at it. It was down at 2 gwei. We've got fast as 4 gwei. Rapid as 9 gwei at the moment. So it's got a higher gwei count on there, and we can see that by day and time on the gas price history. So definitely we've had some higher gas points in there. So there's obviously something happening with the chain, and maybe that's related to some of those slots and blocks issues there, maybe. All right, so that is kind of cool. We've got the GitLab there at the moment. GitLab is ticking away. We've got, let's have a look at the updates. I think I've got that. Yeah, updates there, just refreshing that. So yeah, we had a little Pulsechain Testnet update there that I've updated that 6 hours ago on the GitLab. The last updates for the main clients were all within the last day or day ago. So that's what's happened. So the Pulsechain Testnet there just being updated slightly. I'm not sure if I've jumped into it, have I? No, yeah. So we're just going to jump into the Pulsechain Testnet there and have a quick look at that. And we can see that they have got all the headline details, of course. The 10-second block times, the 25% fee burn, in addition to the faster block times and the EIP 1559 burn. Then we've got that happening as well. We've got our 4 clients. We've got sacrifice credits have been written. Ethereum stake and validated deposits have been refunded. The AMM bot has been executed to rebalance various automatic makers. So we're going to talk about that when we get to Pulsex. That's coming up soon. We've got our block explorers. We've just been talking through that as well. And the interesting thing is the Pulsechain team welcomes development of third-party explorers as well. So that'd be fun to see that innovation. Hopefully we'll get that too. I imagine we will. We've obviously got all the details about logging on, and of course the official block when Pulsechain has forked the block up to the 26th of January. So that's about 300,000 or so blocks behind the Ethereum blockchain. So we're expecting when we go to mainnet to have a block that's probably pretty close to the Ethereum mainnet one when they go to mainnet. That's what we recently expect there. So that's still to happen in the future. And Richard's pretty much warned, get yourself ready because it could be sooner than later. Obviously, the team's got to iron out any little bugs and get the system up and running. This is their big test run, really, before the Pulsechain. I like Gamma, one of the Pulsechain devs, when he was on, I think it was KG's the channel, just saying that, this is like 90% there. and I can see that. I can see that's 90% there. They've got to iron out a few things. It's kind of like the dress rehearsal for the main event. So they've got to say, they've got an order of launching. And of course, they layer that out, and then they got to go in and say, we've got a few little things to change here, maybe some of the names and things like that. So if we come back to the this here, I can see they've still got ETH written on the balance here. I would like to see that change to PLS so that you have everything, very clear. So everything else on here is really good. Just obviously get that up and running and things like that. So it's kind of cool. So that is where we've got there. They've also got some hardware details here. I think some of this may have changed. I'm not sure. This looks a little bit different from yesterday. I'd have to check what we had on yesterday's video. But they've got the hardware you need, the software that you need as well. Now, I do see that David Feder has done a video. I haven't watched it, but he's just released a video on hardware for validating. So if you want to check out David Feder, he's done a video on that. I will probably check it out myself afterwards and have a look at the way he's looked at it, and it'll be interesting there. But there is the hardware considerations here and software for validating, and of course there's start the Pulsechain execution client, all that sort of stuff. But of course there is the validator launchpad, which we looked at yesterday, that the team has set up as well, which is pretty neat. You can get to that from the pulsechain.com site, and the link is in the video description. So that's kind of cool there. We've obviously got the team is logging in for work as well. Here we are on GitLab. The team is obviously working pretty hard to iron out any little things to push out more major things like archive nodes. So 24th of March there, 3 commas. Brett Paulson, 24th of March there. Gamma, 24th of March. Richard Hart logged in for 24th of March, so he's watching this pretty closely. And of course, we've got SJB there, 24th of March as well on the Pulsechain group. On the PulseX there, we've also obviously got 3 commas, and Agris is logged in. We've got Brett Paulson logged in there. Hines is logged in the 24th. And Lucas is logged in the 24th there as well, and Richard Hart as well. So the team's working pretty hard there on PulseX as well. So that's kind of cool. That leads us into the Pulsechain bridge, and we're going to talk about that. Before we do, though, let's catch up on some of the comments in the chat, and let's see where we're up to at this stage. Let's go back here. Did we get up to Eddie? Woohoo! Cheers from SoCal. Yeah, we definitely got up to Eddie. I remember that much. Harry Williams. Did we get up to Harry? We're back up to Harry anyway. We got to Briz, actually. We got to Briz. Humberto says, smash the like button, guys. Let's show our community support. Superman deserves it. He has been here through thick and thin. Indeed, I have. During the bear market, and it's because I've been through bear markets before. So let's go. Thanks for that, Humberto. Brazology, man. Family channel, man. Family channel. All right, so let's move on here. Apparently he likes purple outfits there for the vampire. Nicholas is in the house there. My sacrifice address was from MetaMask. Can I transfer my PLS to my Ledger ETH address that is imported into MetaMask, switch to the Pulsechain? Would the Ledger still have to approve the transaction? Well, it's all on the blockchain, so you shouldn't have any problem with that, I would have thought. Your hardware is your private keys, so the crypto is actually held on the blockchain. So you just need to interact with, say, MetaMask to see that, to switch the chain. Hopefully that answers your question there, Nicholas. If you have any more questions, get into our Discord. Discord links in the video chat, or video description, I should say. Brennan says, yes, you will need to, Nicholas. So there we are. There's an answer from Brennan. Vistasso says, can you explain PulseX single-side staking? Well, PulseX single-side staking, I don't think we'll probably see that straight away. I think it's been indicated to us that it'll probably be a bit later, but that's third-party projects that are likely to airdrop. That's what we're expecting there. They're likely to airdrop tokens to people. And so, yeah, that's something to come. I wouldn't be holding too close to that at this stage as a form of passive income. It'll be highly competitive too. A lot of people will be after it if there are staking pools. You can imagine they get filled up pretty quickly. They're likely to be capped as well per user, I would imagine. The problem with those things too is bots. So we'll see what happens there. There's also the DAO that's going to be popping up there, and that may end up having some decisions and veto decisions on whether it goes through or not, depending on the project, and obviously issues around scam projects, all sorts of stuff. So we'll see what happens there. I'm not imagining we'll get any incentive tokens allocated to that. That seems to be, for me, just for yield farming. I'd be very surprised to see any of that allocated. We'll see though, but that's kind of the view I have at the moment there, Vista. So we'll talk more about that when we get the PulseX decks there. Let me have a look here. What else there? Let me just jump in. Jump through here. Yeah, you might want to get that stuff around the treasure there on the Discord chat. That's probably better. Chris Palmer in the house there. You are always so positive. You're a pleasure to watch. Hey, Chris, I appreciate that. Evening, Superman, evening Hex Scams from Check My Pulse. Good to see you as well. Academiciated in the house there. Yo, Superman, good to see you. And Michael R, pump up the jam. Woohoo! Hey, good to see all of you in the chat there. Welcome. All right, so this is the bridge. We're waiting for this to launch. Now, Richard Hart said that they'll turn on a bridge to another Ethereum testnet maybe tomorrow, and that was on the 23rd. So obviously that hasn't happened in that time frame. So this is still to come from the looks of it, obviously. So we can import stable coins that can be bridged in, and that will allow the dollar values to show in the PulseX testnet info site. And of course, we're on the bridge here. There's no link here with the current one. We can switch back to the old proof of work, but even that's not working because the token, it's not bringing the tokens as well. So we've got unknown here at the moment. So unknown, and it looks like we're going to be testing it with bridging in over from the Rigby testnet. So if you've got a Rigby faucet and you get some ETH and stuff like that, you'll be able to play around with this. So it is, you just have to Google that. I do have those links under useful links, I believe, on our Discord, so you can find those there if you want to find ones that we've already used before and that are more trusting. I can't remember what section it's under. I think it might be under Ethereum on our useful links. I'll double check after the live stream, hopefully, if I remember. But that is going to be fun to play with. Now, obviously, we can bridge over wrap tokens. Basically, lock in the real stable coin on the Rigby or ETH chain, as it were, and then you bridge them over, and then of course you have a synthetic sort of wrap version over on the other side that you can put into liquidity pools. So stable coins in particular is what we're looking at. That's the final stage of the launch process too for Pulsechain, is having the bridge open up and of course flooding the PulseX with those stable coins and getting US dollar prices. So that's kind of cool there. Here we are on PulseX, so people are asking about this. So as you can see, we're on the info tab. So if you go to these ellipses up here, the three dots, you go to info, you'll see that we've got no US dollars there running through there at the moment. So we can only do ratio trading. Everyone loves ratio trading. You can do that, but you won't have the US dollar values in there at the moment. That's kind of the play there. The other thing, of course, the AMM bot has run, and the AMM bot has probably done about a couple % of the liquidity setup with the wrapped ETH pairs. That was the target, but it looks like it's gone through quite a lot of the pools. So it looks like it's done more than in the previous one. So that's kind of cool to hear. Now, KDP posted a tweet out here indicating, and I've mentioned these ones before, Balancer, Bancor, Curve V1, V2, V3, Uniswap V1, V2, V3, and other V2 IE sushi swaps have similar interfaces, so likely brought up also. So presumably that's in one of the GitLab folders. I will check that out myself. But these are typically the ones that Richard has mentioned. 0x has been another one that's been mentioned before. So it looks like there's been a pretty nice, fat, juicy liquidity harvesting there by the AMM bot. So that's pretty cool. And the devs have been busy, as KDP has said there. So that's pretty cool. And those basically you can ratio trade. We did that yesterday on the beginners video. You can just ratio trade between these two here. You can provide liquidity. And of course we did that yesterday as well. You can just click add and select the tokens that you want to do and provide liquidity. You can do that. Earn a share of the fees, 0.22%. You can take your ownership tokens, your LP tokens that you get from providing liquidity, and earn the incentive token as well. So it's a 2-for-1 deal. And of course you have to just stake them in here. So it's pretty cool. Now this looks like they may have fixed this up. It's hard to tell. Yesterday we did have one issue with this, with the enable button. Once you put LP in there, and wouldn't show them plus or minus, in other words, withdraw deposit button there. So we might play around with it today. I'm sure someone must have let them know about that already. What happens is, I think the issue is that when you have 0 LP, after you've put LP in there the first time and staked it for the incentive token, and then you go back in there, it doesn't. I think the issue is that it sees your account holding 0 LP, and therefore it won't open up the plus or minus button. So that seems to be the case for me, and I've done it twice now, so we'll see how that goes. Other people are having a problem there as well, so I might test that out, but later maybe they're going to fix that. But at the moment, that's basically what you do. You stake your LP, put your LP in and confirm that. So pretty easy to do. The pools, this is one-side staking pools you were talking about before. We did have that test. We had the party token, remember, from the proof of work version. That was run for a limited time, but that was kind of indicated that we probably won't have the staking pools, one-side staking pools run up the first couple of weeks. I suggest we'll probably not have that. Richard may have a couple of surprises that he's never even talked about, and some of them we can speculate on. So that's always possible. We will see what happens there. And of course, we don't have limit orders on here yet. That will be toggled on, no doubt, soon. So, low priority, relatively speaking, obviously, and waiting for the stable coins and the bridges to come in is probably the play there on the limited orders. And we don't have the DAO on toggled on yet either. And of course, other links that will be here also. We've got the Twitter and Telegram social media if you want to follow those. And that's pretty much it at the stage. So we've got all the basics in that you can use. Which is pretty cool. So that's pretty much all the updates at the moment that I'm aware of. So yeah, we'll keep up to date as we find out more information. Very, very cool. Yeah, here's the Discord. If you want to join our Discord, that's a Discord link. If you want to have a chat about more details and also find the useful links. The pump is about to happen, says Dave. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Yeah, I think a lot of people might get caught out by the old Pulsechain, and especially some of those traders. There's a couple of names I don't want to mention, so I'm not going to mention them. But man, I could say some things. Let's just say that. But these are some of these people. Anyway, let's move on. We are no drama channel, so we have to hold to that principle. All right, so let's move on here. We're going to jump into stuff here. So we're going to get into the stock market quickly. Let's have a quick look at this. So stock market, another good day for the stock market. The Dow Jones sidesteps fresh bank worries to notch a second weekly gain. And of course, we watch this because we want to see what's happening in the big markets that may impact crypto, right? And of course, we're also following the Fed also. Looks like they've managed to sidestep the bank issues for the time being, at least. Dow Jones is up 0.4%, 132 points to 32,237. Remember, the Dow Jones has the top 30 industrials in it. The S&P 500 is up over 0.5%, 22 points to 3,970. Not quite back at 4,000 yet. Hopefully that will get back to that. I know a lot of people have been calling by the end of the year, getting down to like 3,200 on this. So that's what, about 700-800 points lower. We'll see whether that happens. Obviously, people are expecting recession in the fourth quarter, and we've definitely got issues coming that will probably make that happen. We will see. We've got a third of 1% is increase in the NASDAQ with all the tech companies, up 36 points to 11,823. Hopefully, we'll get back over 12,000. It'll be pretty nice. The dollar is up 0.5%, up to 102.78 versus its trading partners, and the volatility index is down 4%, which is good news. So risk on, baby. Risk on. We love that. And that's really the theme that we like to look at. Risk on. We like risk on. The oil is continuing to slide. Unbelievable, right? Oil sliding there, 1.25. And West Texas down 1%. They're down to $75 for Brent oil. And West Texas down to $70. Yes, please. Let's look at the last month on the Brent oil. And we can see, yeah, down nicely. Was up at $86. Now it's 75. We'll take that. Lower inflation also. And, of course, low, cheap energy helps fuel the economy, which is great. Now, we got gold at the moment is down a little bit there. Down 0.7%, $15. Down 1,981. Gold's had a really good run, hasn't it? It's had a really good run. We can see on the monthly there, the run has been pretty nice. Let's have a look here on silver. Silver's recovered as well, up 0.5%, 12 cents to $23.37. And of course, that's recovered too. You can see silver recovering also, which is pretty neat. Now, we'll have a quick look at the commentary. The Dow climbed Friday, notching a second weekly win as banks recovered ground from an earlier day slump. Well, gains in big tech also sparked a broader market rebound. So thanks for the tech there. Bank stocks recovered ground after a steep sell-off amid fresh turmoil in the sector, following a sell-off in German bank Deutsche Bank. Morgan Stanley, State Street, and Citigroup were the biggest decliners, but ended above their lows on the day as Deutsche Bank cut some losses. So there we are. The European Central Bank President, Christine Lagarde, pledged support to the European bank system, and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz said there was nothing to worry about as the banks are very profitable. The sell-off in the bank sector has pushed into deeply oversold territory. Jamie Montgomery said in a note, They flagged the risk of broader banking crisis, and that's really the stuff. That's the tail end whip. What is there anything else to come? Obviously, interest rates are rising, and of course, there's anything else to come. That's why the Fed's sort of tapering off, and the other central banks too. We'll see. We're still pretty aggressive in other countries, like out in New Zealand here. The central bank's very aggressive here. I think Australia's pretty aggressive as well. So it's not all roses everywhere. From a macro standpoint, and based on our technical work and the global money flows, what we believe may be unfolding here is not a localized regional banking crisis, but a broader central banking crisis. That's the thing. That's what is the risk, and that's why stock market may face a lot more trauma in the future. I think that's only going to go to generally benefit crypto on the most part. So obviously crypto is, especially DeFi, is a really great alternative to the banking system, centralized banking system there. Big tech paired losses to end mostly in the green. Meta Platforms and Microsoft Corporation leading to the upside. That's pretty cool. Consumer discretionary stocks were also weighing on the broader market, paced by travel and leisure stocks, with Hilton and Marriott down more than 2%, while Carnival gained less than 1%. But even as the stocks turned green and added to gains, jitters in the market persist as defensive sectors, including consumer staples and utilities, were in the ascendancy. And of course, these are the ones, if you are risk averse, you want to get into these kind of stocks if you are a part of the stock market play. The second weekly gain in the broader market followed a volatile week during which the Federal Reserve lifted rates by 25%, 0.25% there, and signaled further tightening ahead. But investors continue to bet on a sooner rather than later pause, as inflation is likely to slow faster than expected. We do expect the Fed to go on hold post this week's 25 basis point hike and expect inflation. So they're not even expecting another 25 basis points, but I still think there's still another 25 on the line there coming up for May. So we'll see how we go there. To decline markedly in the next few months. So I think that's probably overdone with the inflation, expecting it to decline that fast. I definitely think it's probably going to happen to some degree, especially with the credit contraction, but we'll see. Given easy year-on-year comps, while falling shelter prices should sustain declining inflation in the second half of the year. So that's the hope there. That's good news. If that happens, that's good news for us in crypto. We'll have an early rally, as my guess, despite the recession still likely to come. So I think it's going to be good for us. Not so much for the stock market, though. So yeah, because the stock market will just move on to other issues, right, around recession. So we'll see. All right, so let's jump over to the crypto market. Crypto sitting at 1.16 trillion, down 2.85%. And of course, we've got Bitcoin there just easing off below 28,000, down 2.11% at $27,736. Ethereum there down 2.7% at 1769. Tether is stable at pegged. Binance coin there is down 1.57% at 325. USDC is stable. Nice to see that. XRP is down 2.7 at 42.8 cents. Hex showing on Nomics. I don't know how much different this is from DEX screen. We're going to see that in a second, but it's showing at 9.379, down 12.44%, sitting at 12.91 billion. Man, our market cap moves around wildly with the Hex price. Of course, we were up at 15 billion, and of course, and even higher. But that's where we are at the moment, 12.9. Still holding pretty strong at number 7 though. We'll take that. Cardano is just behind us though, 12.34 billion. That's what, about $550 million difference. And of course, but they're down too, 2.3% at 36 cents. Dogecoin down 3% at 7.5 cents. And wrapping up our top 10 is Polygon, and it's down 2.4% at $1.10 there. Both of those two, Dogecoin and Polygon, sitting at 10 billion. So we've still got a couple of billion ahead of them to hold our nice spot at number 7. It's a pretty good spot to have. So pretty cool. All right, so let's jump over to Hex. Let's do that. Let me just close down some of these sites here for Pulsechain, and we'll jump into the Hex here. We've got Hex at the moment. Man, oh man, the John Wick bot. John Wick providing a, what was that say? John Wick delivers Hex buying opportunity. Boy, oh boy, does it ever. It really is sitting right there for you. Well, let's see where we go here, though. We've got Dave says the pump is about to happen. I like that, Dave. Tintop's in the house as well. What's up, Hexkins? Good to see you, Tintop. And welcome to the channel. Fine. Right, cool. Let's jump over to that. We've got 9.264 cents is Hex at the moment. And here we are on the daily. We can see that we've kind of pierced through the orange line. That's the 50-day EMA or exponential moving average. Basically, it weights the more contemporary days over the past days. And of course, it's sitting at 9.264 after having a massive wick yesterday. Like I say, you can do technical analysis to a point, but of course with Hex we have still have large liquid holders around. We've got rid of quite a few, but there's always some around, right? And then we've also got stakes. People can end stake and get out of that too. Sometimes we've seen some OG stakes do it, and it's like we've seen OG stakes mature like a boss and take the yield. We've also seen some just like early end stake, and the penalty is actually quite high. So the only offset for them is if they're going to try and trade, if they think that they're at the top of the price and they think that they're going to sell out pretty good. The market drops, and then they can buy in all the stuff they lost plus more if the market moves down like it just did yesterday. That's kind of that, but you kind of got to have that timing right? So which is always the trick of the trade there. And of course, after a big run up, that may be a reasonable position, and it looks like we may have seen some people do that. Now, obviously, once we start slipping down to 10 cents, looks like that happened as well. So let's go to the hourly chart and get rid of the RSI. So that is the drama that we had overnight there. We got up all the way to 12.73, and as I said to you yesterday, I said I tuned in for the evening at that time, and I was going, I bet this thing's gonna sell off when I tuned in, and I woke up in the morning. What time it was? I was probably around here when I woke up, and of course it had done exactly what I had suspicious. Tuned in for the evening here at 12.73, and it did exactly what I had this feeling that it might do. Because of the run-up's been so spectacular, we had a 6.5x run-up, right? So that's pretty spectacular, I think we can all agree. And I just had a feeling it was reaching that point. And of course, we ended up dipping down to 9.339 cents, which is funny enough. This is close to where we are at the moment. Of course, we've rallied through up there. We got back up to 11 cents. And then, of course, we started seeing the cascading selling coming in here as well. We've had, a couple of bigger wallets that have been selling. Some traders, some hexkins, and of course, by the time we dipped down earlier, several hours ago, at 6 o'clock in the morning my time. This is 6 o'clock in the morning my time, and of course, what's that? 7 hours ago, we had the big dip in the candle, and it went all the way down to 6.384 cents. 6.384 cents, unbelievable, right? And there we are. That's what came in. But when you have big bags decide to dump the market, sell them, that's what you get, right? You get that. Is it the wisest way to sell? Probably not, but that's what they're doing. They go, I'm going to just dump my bags and take my money, and that's the play there. Anyway, the market has bounced back from there, which is a pretty good sign. And of course, we're back up at 9.292 cents. Of course, I think we're all, for Pulsechain, we'd all like to get back over 10 cents. I think not because it's not always better to buy at a lower price, but just because it sets a nice foundation to step off for the Pulsechain when Pulsechain gets closer. But of course, we've still got a little bit of time between that. Richard has given out warnings. The Pulsechain is sooner than later, but I think we can all see and all reason to expect that we've got a period of testing to happen as well. But people have to get the positions ready on the Ethereum chain if they want to get those copied over. So there is strategy. People do have to play the strategy and get that right. Otherwise, they can miss out if they're not doing that. So maybe you've got all your stuff on another chain. That's not going to get copied, right? If it's not on Ethereum chain, it's not going to get copied. So people have to make their decisions, and Richard's given them fair warning about that. All right, so we're at 9.29 cents at the moment. So nice little pullback from here. So how much is that? Let's go all the way down to the bottom here. So we've bounced back from there 45% from that WICK, that John Wick, as I call it, John Wick. So that's kind of cool to see. Now, let's see if we've got any comments on that in the chat. We're Hex Machine as well. Hey gang, have we washed out our big seller? Hopefully starts our climb back up. Yeah, so we did have a seller that had 90 million. They got down to 70 million last time. I'm not sure if it was part of this one. We're going to go through the Whalebot and check and have a look through there. Archipelago is in the house as well. Hey all, random question. Do Do you have a dedicated computer to use just for handling your crypto? And if so, what's the best option? A Chromebook, a Mac Air, a Linux-based machine? I have dedicated computers for just about everything. So yeah, my favorite's a Mac. Sorry, a Mac. But people have whatever they want. I find Macs are safer generally than PCs for sure. But hey, Brazil is giving you an offer here. A Lenovo laptop that I only use my hardware wallet with, and it's Windows based. It's nice and clean. So yeah, you can, if you're going to use PC Windows, you want to keep that nice and clean. Keep it off the internet and stuff like that as much as possible. Only turn on the Wi-Fi when you need to make transactions. Yeah, that's probably the best, safest way there to add that ultimate security. Brennan says, I thought you were going to have John Wick on the channel, says Brennan. You're funny, man. You're funny. No, it's because I watched the movie yesterday. I watched the movie John Wick 4. Was it? John Wick 4? Man, it was so good. And the fight, just non-stop fighting scene, was hardcore. And a really great movie. They've left it open too for another movie. Is it John Wick 3? Is it John Wick 3 or John Wick 4? I can't remember. But they've left it open for another movie at the end. It was very cleverly done, the way they did the ending. I liked it. So cool. I guess if they want to do it, they can. They've left it that way. All right, so cool. That is the Hex. Let's go to the whale bot. This is the hourly chart. Let's have a look at the drama and see where we got to. 18 hours ago, we had 1.8 million bought for 202,000. So if we have a quick look at that on here, 18 hours ago. So that's kind of in, I guess, in these candles. Let me go here. That's in these candles here. So that's sort of in this candle here. And then what else we have? Let's get in here. We've got all the selling coming up. Just a second. We had 3.5. This is the Hex Godwell one here. So this is the 146,000 T-shares I talked about. So that's the Hex Godwell, 3.5 billion Hex. Ended there. Got a ROI of 0.8%, 9.8% APY. Got back 28 million Hex. Now remember, when part of the Hex that was in here was from the Tokeneer Hourglass game that Trayvon set up. It's one of the 2 Hourglass games that were back in 2020, and it had to pay a 10% exit fee out of the particular funds that it had in there. And some people got big paydays. One guy on Twitter said he got a $50,000 payday from that in Hex terms. And of course, now the Hex Godwell's getting some of the Hex back. That's from the looks of it. That's the one way of looking at it. So kind of cool. I see a Richard Hart tweet out. Let me have a quick look. If there's another Richard Hart tweet out, let's have a look. Looks like we may have a Richard Hart tweet. Let's see if that is the case. All right, cool. Yeah, we've got some here. So Ethereum, I want to see your free token copies. Try the new PRC scanner. That is the scanner. Let's see what this is. So, okay, cool. That is neat. So this is new. All right, we're going to have to add this into the Discord there. So we've got the sacrifice checker. That is the one we've been using. The 1st of December 2022 was the sacrifice checker for Pulse X and Pulse. So big shout out to, was it Tom Boss? Yeah, big shout out Tom Boss. Tom Boss like a boss. We've got PRC20 scanner. Scan your Pulsechain tokens. Now, we do, Free Pulse have something like this too. Free Pulse have something like this on there, and it shows you the portfolio value for Free Pulse. So it's kind of cool. Now it says scan here. I don't have anything on this wallet. This is all display wallet. So kind of cool. Oh, what the heck? Oh, it's showing some Hex I bought. Showing some Hex I bought. I do have, because I bought some through the DEX. It's showing me that. So it's pretty hilarious. So cool. What does it do? Okay. Let's scan that. Let's do it again. Let's what? Okay, really? Okay, that's weird. Oh, it's going through. It's actually going through. It's going through and scanning all the tokens that I have, and it's adding them. Isn't that crazy? That's pretty cool. It's going through all of them. Look at them all. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's going through all the tokens. Are you kidding me? Wow, it's going through all the different 5,000 of them. PRC20 tokens, going through all of them. Unbelievable. And seeing whether I have any, and I can add those tokens to the wallet. How crazy is that? All right, so that's just ticking away. Look at that. It's going through all 5,000. Crazy. Now, some of those you probably don't want in your wallet, right? Some of those scam. Be careful about scam coins. You don't want those in your wallet. Reject the scam. If you don't know what it is, reject it. Is all I'm going to say. But that's just ticking through. That's pretty neat. What a cool service. That is really, really neat. So this is live on this channel. Well done there, Tom Boss. And this is the first time you've seen it. So it's kind of neat. I don't think it was on here yesterday when we were looking. So that's kind of neat. It's just ticking through. That's actually quite pretty useful. Just add all your tokens through. Now you can see it's gone through. What's that? A couple of percent there, 5% or something. Let's have a look here. So nice. What did we get up to here? Archipelago, thanks for the advice. Brendan says it's a good movie. Seen that one on the cinema, says Brendan. Yeah, I wish I had seen it at the cinema. John Wick, man, great movie series. Wow, I only just saw the Richard Hart tweet showing the sacrifice checker. Scans for Tink. Really cool, yeah. Yeah, that's cool. What else there? Tom Boss, it's a new tweet. It's nice. It's a great tool for new people to easily find the tokens and add them. Nice one. 5,000 tokens, says Stizzy Jones, 100%. All your crypto secrets, says Lies Beneath. Yeah, these are just play wallets that I have here. This is an isolated computer, so there's no secrets, no secrets here. It's all just stuff we play around with on the decks. Free Pulse updated the ERC20 checker today as well, says KD. Yeah, you can definitely see that on the Free Pulse checker. And you can find that under our useful links in the Discord. No, it's actually under Pulsechain useful links, not under Richard Hart useful links. But you can find that too. That's pretty useful. That's pretty cool, says JPon as well. Pro scanner, says JPon. Yeah. PRC scanner. It's still ticking away there. How far through? 632. Look at all. There's lots of dodgy coins probably. Just be careful. Don't accept contracts with dodgy coins in it. Just remember that. Safety first. Safety first. All right, so it's still ticking away there. We'll let it keep going, eh? Let's finish it on the 5,000. That's pretty cool. Anyway, so we were up to the Hex Bot. So that was a nice update there from Richard. Let's retweet that out, of course. Bam. If you want to retweet that, I'll paste the copy of that message into the chat and spread the good word for our boss man, founder, Richard Hart. And go for gold on that. All right. Cool. That is it there. All right. So let's get back into the Whalebot and have a look at that. So yeah, the Hex Gold Whale. Let's have a look at the wallet and see what's going on here with DA2 sitting there. Is it? Let's have a look here like a boss. Man. There it is there, folks. Just sitting there. What's it going to do? What's it gonna do? What's it gonna do for you? What is this gonna do with this? So we'll see. Will it do its third stake at the 2 stakes so far? Will it do a third one? We will see. Still got to recover a lot more hex from its exit out of the token out. I can't remember how much it played out, but it was probably pretty decent there. So this is when the selling started, folks. 10 million hex sold. This is from, I'm pretty sure it was from that 90 million hex wallet. I'm pretty sure it was that one. Did I have a link to that? I thought I did, but don't seem to have it here at the moment. But in any case, people were commenting on it, of course. Does this account have more hex, liquid hex there? Nothing liquid, but has 2 stakes, says your friend Somni. So Somni's already covered this. This is a collector of estrogen, wallet COE, profiled and tweet below. He sold 90 million hex, is mostly out, won't get P hex, and has no pulse chain. So this is the one that we were talking about with the 90 million that I was saying. So that's kind of cool. They are out, but man, dump, to sell. That's the way it goes. Anyway, you want to get the big holders that are not committed to the Hex system, out and redistribute that Hex to new people that want to go on to Pulsechain. So it's actually the John Wick candle is, John Wick selling is very important for redistribution, and it's better to happen, around here than at 50 cents or $1, right? So that was 15 hours ago. Where is that in this candle there? So this is where we're getting these green cells. That's where it started as well. Let's have a look here. We had 2.1 million sold 15 hours ago as well. 10 million sold. So that was all the exit there. Exiting. Let's have another look into this one too. This is CO2, collector of estrogen, he calls it. He always names these people. 90 million hex dumped. So out. So that's kind of good news. 5.5 million hex sold for 500,000 10 hours ago. So we had more sellers coming in there. We had 6 hours ago, 6 million, 3 million, 4 million, 10 million. So lots of big sellers in there. Pretty dramatic, right? Pretty dramatic. That was 6 hours ago. And let's have a look here on here. So that's where we get, I guess it's basically this wick here, this big wick here, where we get all that selling and the volume coming in. So we had 2 big volume wicks in there. And that is the play. So let's jump into that 10 million, see if there's any commentaries in there. These dumpers are all traders, which means if we bounce, they have to buy back in. We bounced hard, said Exologist. We bounced hard, so Way to go. What's this saying? Hope this dude goes and buys back at $100 levels. That's funny. All right, so cool. All right, so there's some fun there, and of course opportunity as well. So they're sold out there 4 hours ago. How much is that? So we stopped selling. Really selling stopped 4 hours. We had 5 hours ago. We had 6.3 million sold for $500,000. Let's see what's people commented on this one. Nothing there really. And this one here also 3.3. Then we had that someone else tried. No. Ripped to the homie, dumped to 6.9. So obviously fear may have come in with these last ones. I'm not checking. I haven't checked done full chain analysis there. Maybe a bit of fear came in and they decided to sell out too. And of course that's the way you go. So that was in these camps here. So I guess back in here. But we've bounced back up. We're at 9.34 cents. I know I have a good feeling about this. So let's go. Let's have a look at the 4 hourly. And that's our 4 hourly chart. Let's have a look at the RSI. RSI is down at 42. It looks like it's curling back around, so it looks like maybe it's done on that, and maybe we'll get a bit of recovery on the daily. Let's go to that. The daily at the moment is we're at 9.34, and it looks like it's curving back up here to 57, and maybe that's done as well. We did bounce, pierce through the 200, was it the 50-day EMA for the daily, and on the way up there, so it still looks fairly good intact. This will cause a bit of trauma, so we'll just have to wait and see how the market responds to that. Getting back over 10 cents will be pretty good psychological for that. So we'll just have to wait and see. TA can take you so far, but when you have a bit of selling trauma, we just got to wait and see whether it consolidates. But so far, it's not too bad where it's at this stage. So getting that 10 cent mark and holding that would be quite a nice little psychological move. All right, let's go to Uniswap liquidity. Have a quick look at that. Let's have a look here. So it looks like we got rid of another big, large holder. So that's good news, right? That means that, the liquid holders, you're getting a lot more chance to move higher as well. So it's kind of positive. And now, this is the liquidity at the moment. So we've still got our buying liquidity. So it's still sitting at 5.4. You guys have seen this day in and day out. It's still sitting there, but we've got nothing in between. We're at the bottom edge of our bell curve. And of course, that's after the selling. So obviously, we've just got to eat through some of these candles. They're all about 350,000 hex each. There's a giant candle here about 1.36 million, and then we just move through it all the way through to this back end of this this tranche here, and that's 12 cents. So that drops off at 12 cents. That's about 250,000 hex, or slightly lower than that in these candles here. So there's quite a bit of hex there. If large holders want to get a position for Pulsechain, then they can go into here to do that. And of course, if you want to sell down into this, you're selling down into a lot of slippage, right? Now, I'm not sure what limit orders are sitting in here in addition to this liquidity. This is V3, of course. There are other liquidity pools, but you really are selling based on V3 into a lot of price slippage there. So not completely rational, but if you're buying, you're actually buying into a lot of volume. So you're actually getting far less slippage. So that's a kind of the first mover advantage to move into here is, I guess, the way to look at it there as well. So that gets us to 12 cents. And away to go. So that's probably enough to say about that. Yeah, it'd be a pretty strong move, I think. Not only get back to 9.3, but to get over 10 cents and sort of stabilize around there. That'd be very, very strong move on the HEX price. Let's see how we go on after that. Now, obviously, the big news as well. Let's go back to our checker. Our checker is through how many? 2,500. We're over 50%. Yay! Checking for Pulsechain tokens. It hasn't pulled up any new ones. We had a couple of those earlier ones because I bought some hex and stuff on the DEX. PulseX DEX. So that's the way it goes. All right, let's go into the big news, of course. Where's my news? Internet money. Let's go internet money. So internet money. So obviously we've been talking about Pulsechain, talking about Pulsex and on the Testnet V3. Obviously we've just gone through all the markets and had a look at those. But the big mover, of course, we've got Pulsechain projects launching on Pulsechain, but some of them are launching earlier on other chains. And we had BNB Pop was the first one, first sacrifice group to do that, did a 31x or something. Obviously the price is down dramatically now. Got an open invite to the Pulsechain, to the BNB Pot team to come on the channel. And of course, they're rolling out their new games as well in due course. Now, here we've got Internet Money. They launched today, just a couple hours ago. KG's done a YouTube video. You can go check that out. KG is also doing a Q&A space, I think. I think it's on Twitter Spaces or Telegram, one of those two. So you can check that out. We've got lots of links in our Pulsechain project teams in our chat there. You can go and check out all the links to Internet Money. So congratulations to KG and his team doing the first wallet that's going to be for Pulsechain. Obviously, we're also expecting a hard wallet at some stage, but this is the glorious launch of the Internet Money wallet. So if you've downloaded the Internet Money wallet, you can now use it. You can obviously the two tokens have been launched, Time and Future. You need Future, so they're launching on multiple EVM chains. So if you've got sacrifices for Internet Money, you would have had that drop to you now. You'd have Time drop to you and Future drop to you. And of course, you would have Time drop to you on the BNB chain as well, not just the ETH chain, but BNB as well, or BSC chain, as you might call it. That's pretty cool. Time and IM have also been dropped on the Pulsechain Testnet V3 network as well. So you can see that on Testnet V3 also. So awesome drop there. Now, in terms of time, you get time on each different chain. But if you want to get the future EVM chains that they launched, so in addition, the other EVM chains, you need to hold future in your wallet. So I don't know, is future a bit more valuable? Let me know in the chat what you think about that, because that's where, if you're holding future, then you're going to get more time airdrops on other chains. So that's going to be pretty interesting. We're going to have a quick look at the price of the tokens at the beginning. Obviously, they start off with pretty low liquidity. We're going to get into that as well. So big shout out, and you can see a lot of the different details here in the Internet Money. I'm going to post this in this Twitter link there if you want to check it out. If you haven't already, I know many of you have, but because some of you have posted these links. That is the Internet Money link there. You can go check out all the details. There's the official site, so pretty awesome. All right, we've got some comments about that, have we? Let's get into that. We've got Tom Boss says, have any big players removed liquidity for HEX since V3 launched? Yes, there's been some movements in liquidity, Tom Boss. I think the big wallet, one of the big wallets that was selling, removed their liquidity as well and sold that down too. So I think that is the case there. Well, that seems like too many tokens for the Internet Money. I thought they would just be 2. Yeah, so they've got those ones as well. They've still got IM, right? Still got IM, I believe. You can also dollar cost average time and future, says Christian. Yeah. Now, obviously, to get the share of the swapping fees and that on the chain, on the Internet Money wallet, which will be multi-chain, you need to hold the time token on each of those chains to earn those fees. So, but you on each chain in that, you're going to be able to earn ETH and BNB and all that sort of stuff as passive income, which is pretty cool. So hopefully that kind of clears it up. The future one though is the one that you're going to need if you want to get the future chains. So if you don't have those, then you'll be out of there. Pretty cool. So that was 3 hours ago launched. Very, very cool. Go check out the video there that he did and going live. So it was pretty neat there. Congratulations, KG. Now there are the contracts. So there's the contract addresses. So the future time one there is there. The future contract is there. That's for Ethereum. BSC, the time is there. Remember, you need time on these ones here to earn the fees. The future is the one if you're going to get the time drop on new chains. And Pulsechain Testnet V3. So that's pretty awesome. That's time and Internet Money on those chains as well. So that's really awesome. I'm going to retweet those. There's so much to retweet here. So let me just retweet that. And cool. I'll probably do this on my official address as well. So it's pretty neat on that one. So I've already tweeted that out. So big deal for Internet Money. You can see KG on the screen there talking about that. So go check that video out. And he's also doing a Q&A as well, which I think is on Telegram or Twitter. I can't remember now. I think it's Telegram possibly. So kind of cool. Very neat stuff there. All right, so that is some of the stuff there. Now this is the website, of course, for Internet Money. internetmoney.io. There's the official information here. You can check all that out with the ecosystem and all that sort of stuff in there. The sacrifice as well. If you've done the sacrifice, you can check all that stuff out with the address and view sacrifice points, all that sort of stuff, and that should match up with what you got for the airdrop. They were pretty confident with that. Now let's go look at the market price. Before we do that though, let's quickly look at the sacrifice checker. Yeah, we're up to 4,000. We're 80% the way through. Still checking to see what tokens we got there. This wallet probably doesn't have much because I've already only played around with the decks there. All right, let's look at the time token. So time token there. Let's have a look at the liquidity. We've got here. What do we got here? Obviously, it's just been added. These trading pairs. We've got the price at 0.1672 cents. is the price of time. That's the time price at the moment. Let me just look there. All right, kind of cool. Wait a minute. All right, so that is the time one there. So it's a 1672, and of course, what do we got here? So far, we've got $1,400 liquidity. So it's just started, just kicked off. Someone started the pool with a little bit of stuff in it, and let's see where we're up to here. So we've got 37 trades so far, and you can see this is on the 15-minute chart, so it's not been around for long. If I go to the hourly, look, we're only in the 4th hour from the looks of it, so that's pretty early on for this. Obviously, you're going to have a bit of selling into this. Got very low liquidity, so you're going to have a lot of small trades. This is the time one, right? This is the one where if you're holding this, you get to earn the trading fees. So this is the passive income token, the time one. And you can see all the small trades. This may end up beefing up over time. This could end up beefing up, could end up having a big run. The liquidity pool could end up getting much, much bigger. And so it's going to be interesting to see this journey. Now, nothing's financial advice, of course. It's going to be interesting to watch this. I think obviously this is a very good, Internet Money is a very good wallet. It is the first one dedicated Pulsechain. It is profit sharing. So in MetaMask, when you do swapping fees, it all goes to the fat cats, centralized payments. It doesn't go to you guys, but when you're using Internet Money, the fees go to you guys. So whoever's holding these tokens in particular, it gets to go for that, which I think is great. Isn't that awesome? So it's really the democratization of the profit sharing. It's beautiful. This is going to be a big theme of Pulsechain. One of the big things that's going to help Pulsechain take over crypto. The more people find out about these, the setup says, why would I be over centralized stuff where they get a centralized entity gets all the money instead of the people? And that's the way it goes. So I love that. I love that. So good. And that's been a big focus there. So anyway, obviously it's subject to people spreading the word. So hey, have you downloaded Internet Money Wallet? If you hold the tokens, you get to share the profits. So that narrative's got to be spread far and wide, right? So you get adoption. But why would you not, if compared to MetaMask, for example, where they're getting all the money? So it makes sense, right? So that's going to be pretty cool. It's also going to be, have Pulsechain tokens in it and all that sort of stuff. So I think it's pretty exciting. You want to get more Pulse, for example. So it's in people's incentive to go and spread the word as well. So it's pretty cool. I'm going to cover this in more detail, but this is kind of just an overview. So we're sitting at the price here, down 3 hours. We're up 1 hour at 1672. The low so far has been 00391. So just under a fourth of a penny, I guess is the way we want to say that. And we're currently sitting at 1.6 cents at the moment. So there we are. Liquidity is pretty low, but we had 37 buys so far, 52%. We've had 54% of the sell volume. So a little bit of sell volume. That's typical. We saw this on Texan token and other tokens, right? And then, of course, we look what's happened to those charts. I actually think this is bigger, right? This is actually bigger. It's a utility. So we'll see how that goes. Things get valued for different reasons, but I just find the utility of this pretty exciting. But the question of this, just like anything with the utility, is volume. Can you pick up the volume? Can you get the users? That's always the case. So we'll see how we get on there. That's always the case. So that's what you got to watch. And I'm excited about where this might go. Very, very cool. Now, obviously, nothing is guaranteed. Just got to remember that. But here it is. It's a much better version of MetaMask from that point of view. Yeah, let's see what happens. The people must spread the word. We've got the amount in the pool there. We've got 0.41 ETH in the pool. And the time, we've got 43,000 time in there. That is the amount. So let's go to the contract. Have a look at that on the blockchain quickly. We've got 2 billion time tokens. We've got 2,120 holders so far. And obviously we've got holders. You can go to holders, have a look at that. You can see the top holders. Some of them have got 4%, 4.4. You can see some of the top holders there. And there's probably not been that much traded so far. So most of them probably still, from the sacrifice there, have still got most of their bags, most of them, for the vast majority. So, yep. We can see the actual trades are pretty small at the moment. They're in the $30, 140. We'll see whether that increases over time when that becomes hundreds of dollars and then thousands of dollars. We'll see. We'll see how it gets on. What the market will do with that as well. Will we get a bit of a hockey stick rally where it goes up like that? We'll see. Obviously, liquidity's got to improve, get into multiple ETHs. At the moment, it's only not even an ETH in there at the moment. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting for sure. So that is the time token on the ETH chain. Let's have a look at the, is there anything else to say about that? Don't think so. Let's go to the future. There's the future one here. Future is at 1.1 cent. The low so far has been just over 6/10 of a penny. So we're now at 1.1 cent, and of course it started off really high, but that all came down pretty quickly. We'll be watching this one too. Now the thing about future, of course, if you want to get the future time token airdrops for the other EVM chains, the future is the one you need to hold. So is that more valuable? I don't know. You guys let me know. Obviously, if you're holding the ETH chain and BNB chain, maybe that's where most of the fees are going to come from. Maybe time on those chains is more valuable. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think in the chat. It's going to be interesting. And at the moment, we've got lots of little buys coming in. Let's have a look at liquidity on this. We've got $954 in liquidity, so it's all really little baby stuff at the moment. But where will this go to? Where will the market take this? It's going to be interesting to see. It is we've got 31 buys so far, and 57% of the buy trades, and of course it's only been around a couple of hours as well. Obviously the similar amount, 4 hours. That's a 4-hourly chart there to make it similar to the other one. We've got the sell volume is 59%. This is, we typically see this, the sell volume there, and of course no surprises, and of course it's really low there. Let's have a look at the amount in the pool. What do we got there? 0.27 ETH in the pool, so it's almost 2/3 of the time pool at the moment, and we've got 42,000 future in there, which is pretty similar to the actual time pool. So it's kind of cool. Let's go to look at the future there as well. We're going to have a look here. We've got 2 billion future tokens. These are the ones you need to hold to get the other EVM chain drops for time. And we're going to go to hold there and look at the top ones there. It's all pretty similar, obviously, because all the sacrifice sets pretty similar to each other. So they all got dropped to time in the future, and so they're pretty much the same on the percentages there. So top whales there, 4.8% kind of thing as well. So nice. That's pretty much it on the contracts. Now it's also on BSC scan. So it's got a different contract address on BSC scan. I don't think there's a liquidity pool for BSC scan yet, or BNB chain. We'll see what happens there, and maybe I'll comment on that, but I don't think there's one yet. But we'll see how that goes. Someone's got to set it up. Maybe it's there. I don't know. I'll try and find that the next time I talk about it. Now, the next big thing, of course, is not only big congrats to KG. We'll be talking more about the internet money at another time. May even try and get KG on the live stream. But here we are. We've got Staker app. Staker app dropping us some alpha as well, so which is awesome. Let's have a look here. So we've got the Staker app here. Pulsechain Testnet v3 will be available as soon as Staker app v2 is out. So it's pretty cool. We've been running alpha testing for a few weeks. It's a matter of days until we make it available to everybody. Your smart wallet is auto-duplicated, forked, airdropped on Pulsechain with your tokens. So that's big news. I've seen questions about that. So that's really cool. So if you've got made a smart wallet with inside the app, in other words, you haven't just pasted in your Ethereum address to check out what your wallet is, because you don't have one of their smart wallets. You have to actually set up the smart wallet within the Staker app. Then that's for you, which is pretty cool. Now, they've got a little sneak peek here. They've got the external wallets, a wallet address here, total staked and external, nice watch list as well. They've also got their other wallets here, Staker smart wallets and external wallets. So these are the ones you can just paste in and have a look at your wallets to see what your balances are on your other, if you've got HEX stakes or whatever else. And then you've got the watch list as well. So that's pretty cool. But this is coming soon from the looks of it. Here's another little screenshot here. USD Tether DAI HEX PLS looking good. This wallet looks so smooth. We've all been waiting for it for a long time. So it does appear that it's coming very, very soon as well. So that was from Staker app there as well. So nice little update there as well. It was 17 hours ago, by the way. And then they've got another comment here. Once Pulsechain mainnet goes live, users won't have to do anything. No need to learn or fiddle with any advanced configurations. So that's really cool too. So big news there from the team. I'm going to post that copy to that in the chat there if you want to go and check that out. Especially if you're using Staker app. Most HEX skins that I know are using Staker app, at least to see if they haven't got a smart wallet, at least to see their stakes, because you have all the details there. It's pretty good. But we can't wait for V2. That looks so good. All right, so that's just some of the snapshots there. So that is the link there. Let's jump into where we're up to here. Let's jump into the next update. Before we do that, though, let's go back to the checker. It's finished. Scan is complete. So it looks like I only had picked up 2 PRC tokens on this chain. So that's funny. But the scan there, pretty neat there. That's new, folks. the scan there, and of course you can find that on the Pulsechain details there. Nice. There's the Pulsechain bridge. Nice. All right. Very, very cool. Let me forward. Let me go back here. No, I did post Richard Hard tweet, didn't I? Didn't I post Richard's tweet? I think I did. But this is the scan page. I will post this under useful links after the live stream. So if you want to get hold to the scan, you can check out what tokens you have. Remember, don't add contracts you don't know. They're likely scam ones. So I haven't really deep dived into that. But that's normally the case with any blockchain, especially when you're copying the ETH chain there. Now, I'm not sure what diligence they've done behind the scenes regarding scam coins. So I don't know what whether they've excluded things like that. I don't know if they've done anything like that because yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just don't know. Whether interesting though. All right, so cool. We got Hex at the moment is at 9.43 cents, looking like a boss here on the 15 minutes. So it's kind of cool. So that's our Staker app update. So that's our second big update. And of course, we're also going to look at Power City. So Power City is going to be one of the under top 3, top 4. You decide adapts on project teams. Certainly the biggest product offering outside of Phantasma and their offering, and liquid loans, of course. I've got Power City here. Bridging in crypto isn't easy for newcomers. Power City has the solution. Users can move from 20 plus chains and 1,500 tokens to their destination chain and token in one click. And this is going to be really important for onboarding. So good. Connecting Pulsechain, it's going to be so neat there. So I love that. That's pretty cool from the team. I'm going to might retweet that too. We also got a couple other updates here. They got easy onboarding solution for Pulsechain, Portal X, bridge routing protocol. This is obviously more information about the bridge, but this is going to be very, very important there. Adding volume to PulseX, big deal. Adding volume to Pulsechain, big deal. So this is what I said. We want all these dApps coming. Obviously PulseX is going to add a lot of volume to Pulsechain. Projects that use a lot of gas and things like that, like Zen, are going to add a lot of volume to Pulsechain. Power City's Portal X is going to add a lot. All these dApps coming, going to add volume to Pulsechain. And of course, we get our utilization of the pipe is going to fill up. And we're going to, hopefully we'll even get some congestion. That'll be nice. And that's going to value in more into the Pulse value. So it's kind of neat. Connecting Pulsechain, yeah, very, very cool. Finds the cheapest routes for users. One-click simple solution and simplifies bridging. A big deal. We're looking forward to that. They've also obviously got boxables coming. They're connecting the crypto world to the physical world with boxable homes. And I think Tesla had one, didn't they, out recently? So that's pretty cool. So they've got a couple of images here of some boxable homes. And of course, I think there are some conditions to the NFT, but to claim your boxable. So we're going to see how that all plays out too. Looks like Canada. Does that look like Canada? That like a Canada house, is it? Or maybe somewhere in Colorado or something. I don't know. There we are. So there's a couple examples of some of those. Left or right? Comment below. I'm not sure. Right. So we've got so that's for the NFT. They're having Pixel Park, so they're also doing an NFT platform. Power City, pretty busy team as well. So nice. Portal X there. That is some of the highlights there from Power City. So look forward to it, man. It's going to be epic. Looking forward to that. We're going to get into the Hex daily stats. We've got day 12:08 on hot off the press. Let's get into that. We've got 66 people watching at the moment, so big welcome to everybody. MV's in the house there. What's up, people? Good to see MVS. Let's get into it. All right, so we've got the 24th of March. The price of Hex is at 9.222 cents, down 13.3%. And of course, our biggest snapshot lately has been 11.784, which is about a cent off our all-time high, our local high that we've had since we've hit the bottom at 1.7. We've got the payout to T-share, another great day in the office for T-shares. So no matter what happens with the price, our yield payouts have been spectacular lately. 6.449, pretty nice. Compare that to about 6.3 as our base. So a nice little premium and penalties. Share price $2,460. Share rate is up 6.2 to 26,680. We've got the average period here. Now we've had the Hex Godwild come out with that 3.5 billion Hex and 146,000 T-shares. Look how the average mining length has jumped up. So it jumped up from 6.44 to 6.81. That's pretty awesome. So it's even slightly higher than I estimated yesterday. And so cool, 6.8 years. It's a long time. We're here together, holding hands. Hands. No. APY rate there, rewards and emergency state penalties, 37.88%. Try and get that in the bank. That's paid out in Hex terms. Awesome. Liquidity. sitting at 106.7 million hex in the pool, which means that there's, if a big player wants to come in, the hex is there. Some of them have been complaining there's not enough hex to buy. Well, there's a lot more to buy today, so come in and buy. That's all we can say. We've got the liquidity in the pool. Obviously got drained out a little bit there, plus LP moves have been moving around, and it's down from 6.7 down to 4.6. And of course, one of the big large holders seems to be out that had that 90 million. And let's see where we go from there. 1,223 liquidity ETH in the pool, down from 1,500 yesterday. Now here's the HEX Gold Whale, of course. So we've got these T shares. Looks like it's netted out here, 143,000 T shares there. Obviously 146 was the HEX Gold Whale. Seems to have netted out with, I guess, new T shares. The T shares there, 10,079,000. Wow, this is the number we've been waiting for. This is the number we've been waiting for. Look at that. Oh my gosh, 10,222,000, and we're down to 10,079,000. Will we drop below 10 million? Is that possible? We've got stakes coming out there. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I don't think we'll quite get there yet, but man, oh man, we used to be over 11 million T-shares, and here we are down towards 10,079. It's not getting easier to get T-shares. It is currently 26,680, and the Hexfire projections, if we pull that up, let's have a look. The Hexfire, pull up these projections from Crispy Man, and we're looking at a pretty high share rate by the end of the year. Look at this. We're expecting some jump apparently from probably OG returns in the end of the year. November, it's suggesting that it could be as high as 32,000 hex per T-share. So that's dramatic as we go from, the first couple of years we're sort of on the lower end, and then we're supposed to just climb up pretty dramatically over time. In fact, we can go to the share rate chart and click the base model, and we can see that projection over time. So this is our first couple of years. We're obviously in the fourth month of the fourth year, and you can see us sort of climbing up, but the share rate is going to just start to accelerate, and of course I'll get higher, 40,000 by 2025, 60,000 by what, 2027, and then all the way up here as projections at the moment up at 90,000 a share rate, 90,000 by 2030. We've got a lot of hex stakes coming out in this earlier period of time around here, so it's going to be interesting. And then the share rate apparently is just going to keep going and up and up and up and away. So you can see it's just starting to accelerate through here, and that means that all of these players here on the global stakes, they're going to be paying a much higher share rate, get a lot less T-shares relatively speaking, even with the yield that they're getting, because they're not getting a lot of longer pays better bonus towards the end of the year. So this is showing right through to the December here at the end of the year, and you can see all the hex T-shares mining hex at the moment, and the front of the wave, of course, is here. It is getting smaller and smaller over time. All right, but we've got to absorb that, but it's still happening. All right, that is that on there. Let's jump away. So I probably went for a little bit of storybook there, but man, isn't that cool? Man, that's right. So even with growth, it's going to get harder to get T-shares, right? So having your T-shares, your staking ladder, that's going to give you that high yield. Pretty neat. You're going to become more special and rise through the ranks. That's the way it goes. All right, so look at that. Lock percentage of coins down from 10.2% down to 9.67 again. Been a while since we've seen that, so there we are. Penalties today, 966 hex per T-share. Pretty awesome. And, of course, our base T-share, we're going to find out what that is shortly. Our growth in the ecosystem, still looking really magnificent. 524 wallets on Etherscan, so we're up to 527,424. Look at those last 4 days. Look at that. Bam, 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 bam. Look awesome. And then, of course, the current change in miners up 42, up to 120,540. Yesterday was really good. We had a triple day, 106. And, of course, that's where we want to head. Total holders up 728 to 544,868, folks. That's day 1,208. We're on day 1,209 on the fourth year of the fourth month. And our base payout has jumped. Woohoo! It's jumped from 6.3 to 6.4. Yes. We've got a little bit of penalties in there, but man, 6.4, that is a payout. And of course, no one loves the payouts more than Briz. Briz. So yeah, it's pretty amazing there, 6.4. Glorious, glorious, glorious. So get those T-shirts, folks. It's just the way we rock and roll. All right, so that is some of the highlights there. We've obviously got these large short-term stakers have to decide, or miners, we're supposed to say, have to decide on the decisions. Are they going to go? Are they going to mine out longer because the share rate's going up? Are they looking at these details, or are they happy to just to churn over every 2 weeks or month or whatever they're doing? We will see, but they're getting diluted at an increasing rate. They have decisions to make. Pulsechain's coming closer and closer. Lots of things going to happen with this front of the wave here. It's going to be fun to see everybody's decisions. Everyone makes their own decisions. It's going to be fun to see what they play out. All right, and what will the Hex Godwell do? Let's see. We'll find out too. All right, so that is kind of the play there on that. We've got Hex at the moment at 9.347 cents. And let's see whether it can get back over 10 cent mark. That is up here. So to do that, we need a little bit more rise. We need to get back up 7%. We'll see whether it can continue its rise up to ascendancy to 10 cents. That would be a pretty strong move and a good sign of strength. That being said, of course, we have just gone through a sell-off trauma event. So we'll see how we go so far. But so far, we're doing not too bad. But getting back to 10 cents will be pretty nice. Now, the start of the fall, of course, this local fall was up at 11 cents. So we'll see how we get on today. There's lots of Hex for sale as where we are. And a lot of slippage on the downside if they want to continue. That's all we can say there. Get Hex says, so great, Superman. Look forward to your daily stats. Thank you, says Anita. Hey, you're welcome. It's a pleasure. We're up to an hour and 26 minutes. Man, we're like a boss. Woohoo! So this seems there's so much to talk about, right? There's so much to talk about. And a big shout out again, once again, to KG and Internet Money. The second Sacrifice project to actually launch. That's a big deal. And not only is that, but it's actually a high quality utility. First wallet, dedicated Pulsechain, obviously launching on Ethereum, BNB, and other EVM chains. Very exciting. Profit sharing, really, really cool. We'll talk more about that in more detail. That is kind of that. And big shout out to him. I know that his team and him have been working very hard on that, so it's pretty awesome. What else I was going to say? Stay tuned to Richard Hart's tweets, man. He says tweeting out a lot. And there's more to come. Obviously, we're going to be looking at the PulseX and the bridge. And as soon as that's out, I'll be talking about it. So take care. All right, we're going to wrap up now. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, all that good stuff. And, of course, see you in Discord as well. The useful links will be there. I'll update the latest one there for that scanner. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Unless there's an emergency show, then tomorrow we'll be back again. All right, take care, everybody. And I will catch you then. Bye for now.